Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
Coming at you from our home.
We are going to be having a lot of travel days over the next month. And so we just want to kind of share with you some of our travel days and show you what a, quote, typical travel day looks like and say, it's not really typical. There aren't any of these that are going to be typical. And some of the things that influence them, this summer, one of the big influences has been, when is check-in time?
Yes.
Because we were making shorter transitions between parks. And that's really the influence for today.
Yes.
We are leaving here. We are heading to, ultimately to South Dakota and back. But today it's to
Denton.
To Ray Roberts, Lake Ray Roberts, and to visit our aunt in Denton. Well, check-in time isn't until 2. And so we did not need to get up extremely early and get packed and going. One of the things about travel days is that day one is a lot more exciting than any other. Actually, we're going to have several that are exciting, but it is exciting to start a trip.
Yes, it is.
And we don't do this full time, and so for us, actually, at the end, which for this one it's going to be maybe around a month from now, getting home is exciting as well.
Yes, it is.
Okay, stop one. And we're not going to do this every 100 miles, but it really doesn't hurt about every couple of hours to get out and at our age and walk around so that we are able to walk around, because we're going to be a little stove up. We're not going to show that because it's just embarrassing. But I know that my dog was excited about the trip, so he didn't take care of all the business he has to do. I'm going to get him out. We're going to walk around. This is actually not a rest area. This is just a parking lot. Dairy Queen had a gravel parking lot over here. We're getting ready to get on an interstate. Don't do that often, but we're getting ready to get on an interstate. Saw that this had a complete loop through and it wasn't crowded, so we pulled over to make our first stop. But okay, we are at stop 1, and ordinarily if we're just going to be somewhere one night, we don't even unhitch. If we can get level pretty much left and right.
But because we are going to visit our aunt, we have to unhitch.
And so we aren't going to put down the stabilizing stuff. Since we are at a campground where we have water and electric, we're going to go in and hook up to that. And as a matter of fact, because our fresh water tank is located directly over our the axles, we're going to go on and fill up our fresh water tank while we're here, since we know we have it, and that way we'll have water with us the whole way. And we're going to be doing a lot of dry camping, so we are getting ready to...
And our babies are ready to get out.
Unhitch and... Okay, just an FYI, when you look at your map, if there's not a picnic area anywhere near and you're really at lunchtime, one of the things you can do if you are on a larger road, and we are, honestly, we have pulled into a parking lot of a casino. It's back up there. And this is, you can see there's some big trucks over here. There's a lot of room, so we have actually just gone on, put out our awning. We've got a little table here where we can put our drinks down, get out of the vehicle for a little while, and it really does kind of recharge your batteries and help you go. And from our perspective, we're going to be looking out on this field and have a great picnic here. So we keep some bag chairs right here handy so we can get that done. Okay, we are at Napawala, I think is how you pronounce that, City Park, and have just stayed here overnight. We, yes, are using their dump station, and they do have water and electric on site, and as you can see, it's $10 a night. There is a self-pay station here as you come in, also trash receptacles and stuff. And all of these electrical poles out here, let me just zoom in on one. You can see this side says 50 amp, that box on the other side is 30 amp, and there are 2 of each. This is just a city park, and there's a disc golf course, there's horseshoes, there's swings, playground, and restrooms. And this has been a great overnight stop. And we are, oh, there's also volleyball over there. Okay. So, this has been a great overnight stop, and we are hitting the road. Okay, our plans are going to change some.
Flexibility's the name of the game.
And we have traveled, day one, we traveled 200 miles to get to Ray Roberts, and then getting into Denton and back to visit our aunts, added around another 50. And then yesterday morning we got up, went in and visited our aunt, and went back out to Ray Roberts, and then drove that 50 miles plus another 280 plus. Those are...
We're old and we're tired.
Our goal is to get to a national forest in Nebraska today. I don't know that we'll make it because we're also supposed to be getting into some rain. But instead of getting there and then heading to...
If we don't get there today, we'll get there tomorrow.
But then we're going to stay for a few days.
Yes.
Instead of getting there for one night stop and just heading on to Badlands.
That's what we did when we flew, was got somewhere, rushed somewhere else, We're not going to do that.
This is a lovely place, but this is just a city park. So this is not somewhere we want to just stay for several days. A national forest in Nebraska sounds like a place that we could stay and actually get rested and recuperated, so when we get to South Dakota we're going to have a good time. And so we stayed hitched last night because we're here for one night. We're just going to get some dry cereal and some bacon, and our coffee is already making. And we're going to get on the road and get as far as we can before the rain hits, and that obviously is going to just slow us down, and we're going to get as far as we can, and then tomorrow hopefully we'll get to that part, and then we will talk to you about just for a second about things to do to pass the time while you're traveling. Make up games.
We do that and we end up with stupid answers. We don't care. It's a game.
But things like, we'll call it the alphabet game, but you go through the alphabet with naming fruits. That was the one we made up yesterday.
Apple, banana,
Apple, banana, cantaloupe, something like that. Or cities. Cities in Texas if you're from Texas.
Austin, Beaumont, Cleburne.
Exactly, that kind of thing. Or just make up a game of name states, state capitals, states and capitals, or something like that.
We don't know them all, so that is interesting.
And if you have an atlas or something, you can be looking those up. But things that keep your mind occupied and keep you kind of going with the flow, that's a good thing. But anyway, we will let you know where we end up tonight. Okay, we actually did make it here to
Nebraska National Forest.
And we did not film any of that next day of travel. You'll notice that our attire has changed a bit from sleeveless tank tops and stuff like that to sweat clothes, because on that third travel day, we got up
Tuesday
and got away, and the temperature was right at 75 as we left that morning.
So shorts were perfectly appropriate.
And by the time we got to the northern part of Wichita, Kansas, which was about an hour away, the temperature was in the upper 50s, and it was starting to mist and rain, and we essentially the entire day temperature fell.
Yes.
And it rained, misted.
And when we got in here, it was about 41.
Yeah, when we got here, it was 41, and I asked the ranger how low it got that night, and it got down to 32. So we went from the low one night of 75 to...
And there was snow nearby, not here, but nearby.
Yeah, nearby. So, and just a couple of days before we left home, it was in hundreds. So our systems are going through a little bit of a shock here. But we have a little bit of footage of that, but I think the rain helped us to make a little better time, because we couldn't get out and walk around, which is what we really like to do.
And we did want to get here so we'd have some downtime. And we're taking an extra down day because of COVID, we don't want to go to tourist attractions or things like that on the weekend where it's liable to be more crowded.
And so we are actually taking, this will be our third night that we're going to stay here. And that's one of the beauties of having an RV. This campground, from here on, we're going to be doing reviews of all of the places that we're specifically that we're stopping at. This one we had planned on being a one night, but we were so tired, just to be honest. And the thought of driving another day.
When you sleep 12 hours both nights, you know you were tired.
Both nights we've been here, yeah, we've just conked out, and it's been nice. And went from having to have the air conditioner on Tuesday night to sleeping under 3 blankets on Wednesday night, and the furnace kicking on some. So this site that we're at here has electric. We were glad we filled up the freshwater tanks because these do not have water at the sites.
There's water nearby.
Yeah, there's water in the campground, but this campground, and like we said, we're going to be doing a review of the campground, but they had a number of sites that were specifically first come, first served.
Yes.
And so we were able to get one of those, and a beautiful one, and we have enjoyed our time to rest and
we're glad to see the sunshine.
Yeah,
today.
this is the first time we've seen the sun since we left that other park, and this is
Thursday.
And we left there early Tuesday morning. And so it's been just really cloudy and everything.
And you may hear the train, and that is the only downside to this park.
Yeah, you cross over actually a couple of train tracks as you're coming into it. But we are in site number 8, and we're far enough away from the trains that we hear them at night, but it's not like they're keeping us awake.
No, I'm not sure if they'd been coming through the RV, they would have kept us awake.
But anyway, and we have made up games. Us having grown up together, sisters, one of the games that we did make up was, naming characters, all of the children from 8 is Enough, or from the Waltons, or from,
MASH, all the characters from MASH.
We know what the other one should know, and so just those kinds of things, making up games, having a lot of fun with that, and
singing goofy songs that were popular when we were a little younger. I mean, just singing.
A lot younger. And then one other thing that we have been looking at, and that is driving through here, our friend Vicki Castell, how we got hooked on her books, the Prairie Heritage series. They were set in Nebraska, and we kept saying, yeah, this does look like what I thought it was going to.
Yes.
This is what she described. And so that's been really fun, just kind of looking at things that we were kind of expecting to see. But anyway, the point being, the typical travel day, there's not really a typical travel day. And if you can have the flexibility.
Especially since we're retired. We plan on sometime around a month. They'll probably work out to between 3 weeks and 5 weeks, but around a month to be gone. And so if we'd wanted to stay here 3 or 4 more days, we could have.
Yeah, but the other thing is not just us, but the pets as well.
Yes.
I mean, we all needed to get out of the van and just have some time. And this sounded like a beautiful place to spend those extra days, and it has been.
It's a great looking park. We've seen, we'll tell you that in the...
So anyway, being able to be flexible and go with the flow. We love having those picnic lunches with us, being able to have those quick breakfasts to get on the road faster, but then just having some downtime is also important as you're looking at those travel days. So those are our thoughts, and this first getting up here, and hope you'll watch the videos of our travels and each of the stops that we make from here on.
Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.